Good Monday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Just FYI, we will be with you all this week. I know a lot of you guys are off for the holiday. We will be with you Monday through Friday to bring you your news, truth of the day, and of course your entertainment spotlight. That's exactly what we have coming up today. We have your news headlines for this Monday. We have the truth of the day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. And today, in an entertainment spotlight, you're being part of my conversation with casting director and author Winsome Sinclair. Enjoy today's program. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Monday headlines. In national news, Mississippi State Department of Health reports 779 more COVID-19 cases and 19 additional deaths. The Mississippi State Department of Health reported 779 new COVID-19 cases and 19 additional coronavirus-related deaths over the weekend. There have now been 143,180 COVID-19 cases in Mississippi and 3,676 coronavirus-related deaths since the first COVID-19 case was confirmed in Mississippi on March the 11th. Record cases and progressing to record hospitalizations, State Health Officer Dr. Thomas Dobbs said on Twitter over the weekend. Please keep Thanksgiving small, local, and outdoors. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has asked Americans to stay home for the holidays. In Mississippi, mask mandates are in place in 22 of Mississippi's 82 counties. In a related story, FDA allows emergency use of antibody drug Trump received. U.S. health officials Saturday agreed to allow emergency use of a second antibody drug to help the immune system fight COVID-19, an experimental medicine that President Donald Trump was given when he was sickened last month. The Food and Drug Administration authorized use of the Regeneron Pharmaceuticals Incorporated drug to try to prevent hospitalization and worsening disease from developing in patients with mild to moderate symptoms. The drug is given as a one-time treatment through an IV. The FDA allowed its use in adults and children 12 and over who weigh at least 88 pounds and who are at high risk of severe illness from COVID-19 because of age or certain other medical conditions. Emergency authorization allows use of the drug to start while studies are continuing to establish safety and effectiveness. Early results suggest the drug may reduce COVID-19 related hospitalization or emergency use visits in patients at high risk for disease progression, the FDA said. Regeneron said that initial doses will be made available to roughly 300,000 patients through a federal government allocation program. Those patients will not be charged for the drug, but may have to pay part of the cost of getting the IV. Initial supplies will likely be vastly outstripped by demand as the U.S. has surged past 12 million reported cases, with the country facing what health experts say will be a dark winter due to uncontrolled spread of the virus. The Associated Press notes there's no way to know whether the Regeneron drug helped Trump recover. He received a host of treatments, and most COVID-19 patients recover on their own. In more national news, Trump's legal team cried vote fraud, but courts found none. As they frantically searched for ways to salvage President Donald Trump's failed re-election bid, his campaign pursued a dizzying game of legal hopscotch across 6 states that centered on the biggest prize of all, Pennsylvania. The strategy may have played well in front of a television camera and on talk radio to Trump supporters, but it has proved a disaster in court, where judges uniformly rejected their claims of vote fraud and found the campaign's legal work amateurish. In a scathing ruling late Saturday, a U.S. district judge, a Republican and Federal Society member in central Pennsylvania, compared the campaign's legal arguments to Frankenstein's monster, concluding that Trump's team offered only speculations, not proof of rampant corruption. The campaign on Sunday filed notice it would appeal the decision to the 3rd U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals a day before the state's 67 counties are set to certify their results and send them to state officials. So as the legal doors close on Trump's attempts to have courts do what voters would not do on Election Day and deliver him a second term, his efforts in Pennsylvania show how far he is willing to push baseless theories of widespread voter fraud. In international news, G20 summit ends with support for COVID-19 vaccines for all. Leaders of the world's most powerful nations wrapped up the Group of 20 summit on Sunday, vowing to spare no effort to protect lives and ensure affordable access to COVID-19 vaccines for all people. The 2-day summit of heads of state was held virtually due to the coronavirus pandemic, which has killed at least 1.38 million people globally, with the world's highest death tolls recorded in 7 of the G20 countries. And finally, in entertainment news, cars line up for miles for Tyler Perry Atlanta food giveaway. Thousands of people jammed roads for miles in Atlanta on Sunday to try to get boxes of food and gift cards donated by entertainer Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry Studios said they had enough boxes of canned vegetables and $25 gift cards for 5,000 families to drive through and pick up. The studio said it was out of food by 10 a.m. on Sunday. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Respond, never react. Maintaining control over your emotions is one of the greatest keys to creating a peaceful, loving, and successful life. This allows the people you encounter to experience the person you truly are, as opposed to being judged by the erroneous reactions you may have done in the past. Overblown or highly expressive reactions send a negative message. By choosing to respond instead of allowing your emotions to get the best of you, it demonstrates to others you have a sense of confidence and an inner strength. This mastery of your feelings inspires others to feel at ease around you because they can sense your confidence. Today, be actively responsive rather than emotionally reactive. And as always, enjoy your day.
It's now time for Entertainment Spotlight today, featuring casting director and author Winsome Sinclair, right here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Casting director and now author Winsome Sinclair joined me recently on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about the writing of her first children's book, You Are My Sunshines, just in time for National Adoption Month. Here's part of our conversation. You are definitely no stranger to the spotlight. I should mention, a lot of people know you as a casting agency. You have your own casting agency. But now what is it like for you to put published author with your name?
You know, it's a dream. It's a dream come true. I never thought this would be my first book, but when it came to me, it was time to write it. But I always knew I wanted to write something. I just never thought it would be a children's book.
Got you. Well, you actually have shared that. The book kind of came to you one night, and then you just got up and started writing this. Talk to us a little bit about what is it that led you to write You Are My Sunshine.
Well, what happened, and I can only recall to you, how it went down. And,
Sure.
Normally, you go to bed at night and you're sleeping, and I woke up somewhere around 2, 3 o'clock, and I couldn't go back to bed, and I struggled with going back to bed. It was 3:30, it was 4 o'clock, and I was like, and usually when that kind of thing happens in my life, it's time for me to have a conversation with God, because I said, so clearly you're keeping me up. What is it that you want me to know? And I got up and I was told, get up and go to your computer, and I sat down, and let me preface this by saying, prior to that, I was writing what I thought would be my first book, which is Faith, Family, and Film. And I sat in front of the computer, and I just started thinking about my boys. And it started out as a love letter to them, and it turned into this 20-page book. And I was like, oh, okay, this is why you woke me up. Because as soon as I got it out of me, I went back to sleep with no problem.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. But we'll have you guys on tomorrow with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, make it a great one.